How you doing, Rui? Ready to go?
Good.
All right. LeBron just told us that you spent a lot of time with workouts this summer. I just wondered, where did that start? Did you approach him after the season, and and what was kind of the main thing that you were trying to get out of those workouts throughout the summer?
I think when it started from Phil, him and I know Phil's been walking out for years, and the Phil told me after the season, he said that I think I should walk out with him, this summer as much possible. I think it's gonna help my games out, bring my games up. So then I was just trying to kind of see his schedule. He has a different stuff going on too. So whenever he's here or whenever he's travel, walkouts, I just kind of follow him, and just walk out with him. But it was great, I appreciate for him to let me walk out with him. It was a great experience for me, and just learning from him, of course, on the court, but off the court, just taking care of his body, weight room, all kind of stuff, and just talk about stuff, basketball stuff, and I learned a lot of things from him. So I appreciate him, and of course Phil. Phil's a guy. He shout out to him. He connected me and him. So yeah.
Hey Rui, good to see you. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Far be it for me to sit here and talk about somebody losing or gaining weight, but it looks like you've changed your body a little bit this summer.
I just this is what happened. So for some reason, Lakers people, the social media people, they decided to post the picture next to Bron. That was the problem. My weight was fine. I was same weight like last season.
Have you changed your body at all? Did you lose weight this summer?
I think it's more defined. That's what it is. I've been walking out, but it's just they put the picture next to him, the Bron, so that's why it looked like I was more. It's of course, so. I was kind of mad about it, but no. My weight's fine. I'm just a little more defined. More like a basketball body. That's what it is. Yeah. Look at me. Look, you see? Yeah. No. Trust me. Yeah.
Rui, your three-point shooting jumped almost 20% from the regular season to the playoffs with the Lakers. What do you feel like went into that rhythm and that flow that you were in, and then how sustainable do you feel like that is with the off-season work that you put in, that you can maybe not shoot 48% again, but shoot close to 40%?
Yeah, even the one when I was a Wizards, I think the one season before, I was shooting 45% or something for regular season. So it was I already had it. I just I just had to get in the rhythm. And the whole trade and everything going on is just and it was the different system. So I just had to get used to it, and I was walking out with the Phil, every day, and saying he said just be ready for those playoffs. When the playoffs come, those three gonna fold. So I would just keep walking out, and yeah, the right time. Just when we were on the playoff, I just did it I just walked on. So it's just I think it's a momentum side, especially for me, bigger games for me, it's more, I get my strengths up. So, it's just those stuff, always since I was kids, big games. I love those big games. So, so that's why it happened. I feel it wasn't really nothing technical change or anything. It's just a momentum side, yeah.
Hello, Rui. Darvin mentioned last week his starters. D'Angelo, Brian, AD, Austin. So there's one job out there that's open. Do you view that as something that you want to take, or is that something that you have to work your ways towards?
Here's the thing, it's just I feel like each game is different, So even last year too, we changed a lot of starting lineup, throughout the course, even after I got traded, and we just gotta adjust, each games, and more for me, more so starting or not, I think I'm okay about playing time, more playing time is more important for me, and I want to finish the game, that's my main thing, and whatever the coaches decide, I just I'm here for, I'm fine whatever they decide, but I want to finish the game. That's my goal. Yeah.
Hey, Rui. Whether it was the workouts with LeBron or just on your own, was there an area of your game or a single area of your game that you really dedicated
He was talking
yourself
about
to?
him, yes.
That you really dedicated yourself to improving just one singular area?
Yeah, for sure. Me and him walked on a lot of, mid post, like, those areas, like, a lot. And, of course, we did a lot of shootings, ball handlings, like, overall, it's a whole package. But, just those footwork and the stuff. That was my main goal for this summer. And then those footwork was, like, really, like, it's going to help my games, it's going to help my games, a different way. So I just watched him closely, and he taught me a lot of little trick, the points, the footwork, and yeah, it's those kind of stuff, and using the body, it's just he mentioned that he said me and him has the similar body type. That's what he said. So, that's the thing. If you have the body type like that, you can use the body and just get to the spot, and it's an easy shot. So those kind of stuff I worked on with him, and I think I learned a lot from him. Yeah.